show you how great I am.
G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box, and please hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop that heat. What is next for Tomas Delorme? Yes, I'm going to show Tomas Delorme some love. A lot of people are not, just because he's not a hot name right now, but he performed well against Jesse Vargas. No matter what you think of Jesse Vargas, if you think he's a contender, if you think he's a gatekeeper, if you think he gets the exact praise he's supposed to get, or you think he's overrated, if you watch that fight, Tomas Delorme performed very, very well, and you could have gave the fight to Tomas Delorme. You could have gave it to him, no doubt about it. But he definitely improved from the Yordenis Ugas fight and from the Terrence Crawford fight as well. So I do think that Tomas Delorme deserves another opportunity. Everybody's talking about Jesse Vargas after that fight, and he's getting another opportunity with the IBF for another title eliminator for Earl Spence shot. So I think Tomas Delorme should get another opportunity at a named opponent. Now, who should that be? I can think of a couple of names. If Keith Thurman is coming back off of a 2-year layoff and he needs a comeback fight, I think Tomas Delorme did enough in this Jesse Vargas fight to show that he's more than qualified to be that opponent for Keith Thurman coming off of this huge layoff. Now, the second person I was thinking about was Jamal James. Jamal James is an up-and-coming 147-pounder. Now, his only loss is to Yordenis Ugas, but Jamal James is a hot name out here in the game right now. He's definitely making noise, and he's definitely a fringe contender. So I think that'll be a really good matchup as well. A third person that would be a good matchup, I would say Devin Alexander. Devin Alexander, Tomas Delorme would be a really good matchup. A lot of people think Devin Alexander got robbed in his last two fights with Andre Berto and Victor Ortiz. I had Devin Alexander winning both of those fights when I scored them. And Tomas Delorme was nip and tuck with Jesse Vargas, who is a guy that for some reason everybody wants for him to get a title shot. So I think those are three very good names for Tomas Delorme going forward. But us as boxing fans, when a boxer performs well, even if it's in a losing effort, if you're following a guy's career and you can see this guy making improvements, he put in maximum effort, he left it all in the ring, we still have to acknowledge that from a fighter. Even if he loses, even if it's a draw, even if he barely comes out with a victory, if you're following a guy's career and you see him improving at his craft, us as boxing fans, we should acknowledge that and give the man some praise at the end of the day, because we want to see everyone improve at their craft. Not everyone is a top 5 pound for pound guy. And with me on this channel, that's something that you're going to see. I'm going to be covering a lot of different fighters that are on a lot of different levels. And when you're looking at guys and you're following their career, it's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be critique. It's going to be things of that nature. I'm not one of these channels. I'm not one of these guys that if it's not a top 10 pound for pound guy, they a bum. You understand what I'm saying? And if you notice, I ain't got to mention no names, but there's a couple of channels that they don't even cover boxing as much as they used to because they're frustrated with the politics of it. That I understand, but it's a lot of fighters in their eyes, they just call them bums. They just call them bums. If they not a top 10 guy, then they a bum. And if that's the case, then you don't need to cover boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be a casual fan and just cover the main guys when they fight. You understand what I'm saying? But you're not going to get that with G5 Jeff TV at the end of the day, man. I'm covering everybody. Like, my job is to cover boxing in its form. So if it's a top 5 pound for pound guy like Terrence Crawford, or it's a guy that was on the verge but got knocked out or got beat by an upper echelon guy and he's on the comeback trail, like a Tomas Delorme, like a Jesse Vargas, like a Devin Alexander, like a Andre Berto. Other guys that might call them quote-unquote bums or over the hill or anything like that, there's stories behind these guys. It is stories behind these guys. So if you hear me call a fighter a bum, trust me, it's going to be for specific reasons, and it's not because they're not a quote-unquote top 10 pound for pound guy. So this video, you might see the title and say, oh, it's Tomas Delorme. But if you follow Tomas Delorme's career, he went from fringe contender to going up against the best in Terrence Crawford, and he lost that fight. He lost to Yordenis Ugas, but you could see him working. You can see him working this entire time. I even heard a story about Tomas Delorme. He's working out of the Mayweather camp. I don't know if he still is, but he was working out of the Mayweather camp, and there was a big story going around that you look at the Mayweather camp and you think everybody's living good, but there was people in the Mayweather camp that were like Uber drivers, that was like Uber and Lyft drivers, and there was a rumor that Tomas Delorme was one of those guys. So if that's the case and you see him fight the way he fought against Jesse Vargas, he fought like his life depended on it. Like, yeah, let's give that man props. Let's give him props at the end of the day. If Jesse Vargas is supposed to be one of those guys at 147 pounds and Tomas Delorme did what he did against him, then he deserves maximum credit. You understand what I'm saying? But if you think Jesse Vargas is overrated or you think he's a quote-unquote gatekeeper, you can make an argument that Tomas Delorme won that fight against Jesse Vargas. You can make the argument. So if that's the case, then Tomas Delorme that night was a better version than Jesse Vargas. Either way, man, we gotta show these fighters support, man. We gotta show them love, man. Not everybody's a top 10 pound for pound guy, man, and that's my point. And let's show our fighters some love. And the main reason why I say that is because you take the UFC. You take the UFC right now. The UFC is more popular than boxing right now because they put the best up against the best. Like, it's no politics about, the best going up against the best. I mean, you look at Conor McGregor and Khabib. Conor McGregor came off of a hell of a layoff. Imagine if that was him in boxing. Imagine, in boxing. Imagine if Terrence Crawford came off of a 2-year layoff. You honestly think Bob Arum would put Terrence Crawford up against Earl Spence? Off of a 2-year layoff? Hell no. Hell no. And that's why I'm saying we got to show these fighters some love. We got to show them some support. You know what I'm saying? But for boxers, the boxers got to put it out there too. They got to put it out there as well, because UFC fighters, those guys be having 4 or 5, 6 losses and they get love like they undefeated. And boxers, they get 1 loss and we just throw them to the wayside. But at the same time, if we always complain about boxers not stepping up and fighting the best, but then when they do fight the best, we don't give them no credit for it. We throw them to the wayside. Look at Kell Brook. He fought Gennady Golovkin and Earl Spence back to back. It doesn't matter if you feel like he shouldn't have took the Gennady Golovkin fight. He took the fight. Gennady Golovkin and Earl Spence back to back. Does Kell Brook get held in a high regard right now? No. Have we thrown him by the wayside for the most part? Yeah. Like, that man should be praised. He got more guts than anybody in the game. But I think that's a part of us as fans not showing these fighters some love when they do improve, when they do step up in competition, when they do do the things that they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to see more videos about me covering guys like Tomas Delorme and guys on the come up and guys that's fell down and they trying to get back up. So you're going to see that here on G5 Jeff TV. If you don't like seeing it, then you can click on to the next video. You can watch the next channel. But we showing all fighters love, tough love. But we going to show them all some love over here. G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.